Hey guys, Max Perception here. Went down to Harbor Freight, picked me up a little air die grinder. This is the model number 528848, and it was working beautifully. It is a front exhaust air die grinder, and it does have the paddle lever on it, so it's very comfortable for those small jobs. It gives you a couple of wrenches with it, okay, and that's to put your attachments on and off, whatever attachments you use. And then it comes with a set of instructions in a little plastic bag that all come in. So let me set that over to the side. Okay, one of the problems that I had with this is that I watched another YouTube video and it said there was no grease in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off right now. We're going to see if we have grease in here. So I'm going to use my my channel locks and my crescent, and we're going to pull this off real quick. If I can, let me see if I can stay in frame here. Okay, there we go. I've got a little makeshift work area here, and I've hung my camera up from the rafters. So that's why you're going to get this shakiness. Anyway, as you can see, and I don't know if you can see in there, there is ever so lightly, I mean just very lightly, grease in there. So you have two of the bevel gears. There's a bevel gear up in the head, and there's a bevel gear right here. So what I did is I went ahead and took my grease gun, and basically I'm just going to run some grease up into this head. Okay, so let me do that real quick. Kind of hard on camera to do all this, but I'm going to try to get it done. Okay. Alright. So basically you can see there's grease up in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dope that up a little bit with this one. Okay. That's basically all I did. Okay, so now I know for a fact it's got grease in it. So I'm going to put it back together. And you got to get your head turned around right, because this is swiveled. So if you want this to line up with your paddle, like I said, just get it and then get it where it's almost tight, and then so when you do that one tightening turn, it's right at the exact angle you need it. That may take a second. You know, I am doing this all at once, so it's not going to cooperate, I'm sure of that. Alright, so let me do this. That worked out pretty good. Okay, so there should be. Alright, so that part's done right there. The second thing is this locking nut. Okay, there's a locking nut, and I don't think you can see it. Maybe you can see it. See that over on this side and over on that side. Okay, over on this side and that side. Now, I don't have a locking nut wrench that tightens those, but I do have a hammer and a chisel. So I'm not going to be able to do this on my bench right now because I don't have anything to hold this with, and I don't want to mess it up. But it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So what I did is I basically put my punch right there, and I secured it in a vise. I don't think I can do it from right here. But anyway, just, let's see here. No, I told you wrong. It's lefty, see, right? So it's just reverse on those threads. So it'll be left tightens it and right loosens it. I apologize for that. Let's see here. So basically what you do is you just get that secure, okay, and make sure that's tightened down, and then put your fitting on, and then guess what? Give me a second, a pretty good tool. I'll get the air fitting and I'll be right back. Okay, and what I do with the little air fitting is I just run on the backwards. I think that's the way I did it. I always get confused on this Teflon tape. Just run you some Teflon tape on there, okay? Pinch that off, and then what you want to do is just screw that in there, and you can use the same crescent. You'll have to adjust it there. Take it around, okay, and then tighten it up. And I like to go in there a little bit. Now, the first one I got, I used it for 45 minutes, probably something like that. Pretty heavy actually before that locking nut came loose. But You know, and you might want to, I don't know if you want to put some Loctite on that. If it does it to me on this one, I will definitely do that. But the reason that I took the other one back is because the head, you know, obviously when that locking nut came undone, the head was coming out a lot farther. So it was grinding the gears a little bit, but when I tightened it back up, it worked perfect. But I just didn't want a tool that had already, you know, had the gears scuffed up on it. But let me hook this up to some air, and I'll show you what it sounds like. No leaks. And I'm going to start off slow. See, that's pretty controlled. And that front exhaust. Now, one thing will happen, and I hope I didn't shoot that all over my camera. But anyway, you can see the grease on there now. See the grease on it? It shot it out. And that's what happened to me the first time, but it's not a big deal. I know it's grease now, and you can see up in here where that locking nut is now. See all that grease that come out? Now, I'm going to check that real quick and make sure that it didn't... No, that's still tight. So you're going to have that, but what you can do, and I don't know if I got a rag. Let me grab a rag real quick. So basically, you can just wipe that off, okay? I'm going to have a leak here in my hose here. So I'm going to fix that. But, and it does take quite a bit. I think I've got a 25-gallon tank or a 20-gallon tank on my compressor, and I do have to stop and wait for it to build up if I use it quite a bit, and I don't want it to come on right now. But and I say quite a bit, 5 minutes constant use or less, maybe 3 minutes, it's going to kick my compressor on. And you can't use it. Yeah, you know, I can't use it. So you have to let it build. Another thing I forgot to tell you that's very important that I didn't do was to put a couple of drops of air oil in the end of this, and they recommend you do that every time. I hope this video helps. I think I've got a really good usable tool now, and I'll just keep it oiled up, and it'll probably serve me really well. Guys, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, share, like, and I'll talk to you later. Take it easy.